Well, good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. I am Jeremy BREIHOF with SignComp. And to my left, we got Mr. Adam Yorston with YNA.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Adam, how are you doing today? Everything good?
I'm doing well. I've got some plans to move around the house.
Living room to
Yeah, just hang out in different rooms today.
office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Just day 38 of quarantine. Everything's fun, huh? All right. So today our topic is going to be the franchise flyer. So what this is the small brochure, colored brochure. It's a great tool that we have at SignComp. It's much smaller than our product guide, and it's got a lot of handy information in there, finished product pictures, but that's what we're going to go through today. We're going to show you page by page what's in there. And this should be just like our last couple of episodes that we've done. So this should only be about 12 to 13 minutes long. So we're accepting questions. So if anybody has any live questions or comments, we are going to be able to answer those right now. So let's get started, Brian. So like I mentioned just a second ago, this is a franchise flyer. It's a quick 5-6 page pamphlet that we offer. But what is inside of the franchise flyer? Adam, what do you think? What do you think a good company would be to hand this out to?
I think the value of the franchise flyer is it's often overlooked, all the little gems that are in here. A lot of times we start off with sign shops that have not dove into the entire SignComp catalog as a good entry piece, but there really are items in here that any sign shop can use and will use, whether they're a small shop or they're a shop that does a little bit more on the printing side or limited on the electrical.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I would definitely start off with this being something you hand to a sign shop to take a look at, or you review with a distributor partner as items that could often be overlooked but play a valuable role.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, so you're not overwhelming somebody new with the product guide. So this is a good quick flyer, and like I mentioned too, it's a lot of finished pictures. It's got a few kit prices on there, but as you can see there, the popular kit sizes with the pricing, you're not limited to that. Remember, we can still cut to the nearest 16th of any kit you want. It's got a brief kit description in there as well. It's got the profile view of each profile with some of the dimensions and some very helpful finished project photos.
And looking right here, this is right on that cover. You've got two of our very popular, products we've had for quite some time: our wall mount tension frame and our edgelet. The wall mount tension frame is an incredible product for a shop of any size doing any type of branding or marketing. What's nice about it is you've got the ability to put this on the wall, in a box truck or a surface, and you're kind of shifting the load to that surface so that size is no longer an issue. And you're able to change those prints out pretty often. Jeremy, we've got pretty good YouTube videos of this as well being installed.
Yes, yep, because you're not limited to the size with this. As large as your building or structure is going to be, you can take the wall mount tension frame. And like Adam mentioned before, was that at being only 1 inch in depth, illumination is not going to be in the wheelhouse here with this guy. This is just eliminating bungees, grommets. The frame is just the one-time purchase, and really where it's going to come into play is reprinting a new banner and going out there and changing that face in and out. So that's a great product. And then some of the kit pricing that was off to the side that we mentioned on the right-hand side there, you're not limited to that, and it includes the frame, the cover, and all the clips necessary to complete.
Right, and right below that, on that same front page, we have the edgelet extrusion, which you and I talked about just last week about being a potential solution for even today for protective barrier solutions.
Absolutely,
so cards, things of that nature. It also dresses up your dividers. It's a cool acrylic piece, and you can bring LEDs into the mix as well.
Yep, desktop like you see right there, flag mount it like the ATM sign, or ceiling mount. Put a couple of eye bolts in there, suspend it from the ceiling. And we had mentioned that not everything in this needs to be illuminated, but this is a nice little profile because you can slide a tray of LEDs inside of it, so that way you can get the light up effect like you see here. This holds a 1/2 inch acrylic or glass. So really the etching is what's going to make this thing pop. which brings us to the RTS system. This is going to be one of a couple of pages with our post and panel, but the RTS post system, it's 3¼ inch round or square posts. These come at 8 foot or 12-foot posts. I do want to mention that they're actually 94 inches for shipping purposes. We know across the industry that 8 foot we tend to get a little bit of upcharge on some of those deliveries. So we've brought those down to 94 inches, but they are pre-slotted 48 inches. So you just drop a panel in there and dig a couple of holes and you're ready to go. But these are white or black already. A lot of our products are not finished. That's for sure. They come mill finish or with some Duranox bronze to them. But these ones are finished white or black already. And the nice thing is if your panel isn't the full 48 inches, there's a T-bar that you can cut and drop in that slot. So that way, when you put your shorter panel inside there, it just fills up the remaining of that slot for you.
Yeah, I think this is
sorry.
Definitely one that when we talk about, when you ask, where do we show this and what shop utilizes this is definitely a product, the RTS, as you mentioned, pre-painted. So you've got that out of the way. It's simple and easy. They're slotted. They go well with an ACM product or a composite material as a face. But really with the finials, it's a completed package. Very easy to assemble.
Right. Probably real estate signage as well. Just quick and easy and ready to go. Ready to ship.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, you see that? See what I did there? So just a couple examples, really. It just takes 3/16 3mm panel in between there. And it does come with a panel trim on the top as well. So the pricing that you see in the franchise flyer is going to be per post. So that way, when you want the double post system, you just got to multiply that by 2. Now, if you want to take it to a step further, we do have the post and panel systems themselves. Okay, so the ones in the franchise flyer that we're discussing today, there's 3 post options, and then there's a couple of different appearance options as well. The reason we're only showing the 3 is because these are Duranox bronze. All right, so that's just a primer coat, but it can sometimes be used as a finish if you'd like. But really, the Duranox bronze is just ready to be sanded and then hit with your top coat. So the multiple options here is going to be 3¼ inch radius or rectangular, and then a 2x2 square post. And then from there, it's just what did you want to go with? Did you want to go with a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch thick panel, or did you want to wrap it with a body? So the body that we're showing here is our slide body. There's no welding, no gluing or anything. It's all put together with screws. This entire system is just put together with screws. Now, there's many more options in the actual product guide that we have. Now it starts getting into the round and the square, the rectangular, triangular, mill finish options as well, and then different body styles as well. So like you see here on the left-hand side, that's what the Duranox bronze actually looks like, that complete package put together right there. The panels will still need to be supplied by your distributor of choice.
Ooh, this is one of your favorites.
Everybody's favorite.
This is our soft signage system. In the franchise flyer, you'll now see our top load soft signage and our front load soft signage. What's nice about the soft signage product that we have is that we offer a fabric system that can be tensioned and placed into the frame without a silicone bead or without sewing. So ours is using an MW grip pattern that the fabric will actually go through, and that will come up and hold the tension tight for you. This is nice for your dye sublimation, your graphics or canvases. You're going to see these all over airports and commercial buildings, corporate buildings. And I'll let Jeremy dive into the differences of the front and the, we're just showing the front load here, but the front load and the other options we have.
Yep, there is Adam's eyesight is going on him. So on the left-hand side, you'll see that little page hidden behind there. That was kind of our first generation of this soft signage that we have. So just to reiterate, it's similar to the SEG frame, but you do not need the silicone edge. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you'll see that the fabric comes up and over and tucks into it. And there's 2 cover options. There's a snap cover that comes Miller anodized, and then there's a black top hat cover. So that's similar to the one behind me here with the black cover. It kind of gives it a shadow box effect, which is pretty neat. But the latest and greatest is the front load right there on the main page that you see here. The front load, the first one that we had was an inch, maybe a little bit larger, an inch in depth. But the first question was always, can you illuminate? So that's where we came up with the 3.5 inch deep option that you see there. That's what we call the front load. Pretty self-explanatory at that point. Then there's no cover. It's just the frame with the grip strips. So you basically oversize by about an inch, inch and a half, and then you just tuck it in with a vinyl squeegee and you're done. The main assembly. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, we also do have the capability and ability here to create shapes with these. So these profiles can also be curve cut.
Right. So Brian, if you can go to the next page real quick, we can show a couple of finished examples there. So top left, you can see.
Look at that Michigan poster.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
I think I've seen it before.
Matt Smith had a question. I believe there is a video. There is a video that shows how to install the soft signage. Yes, I believe TJ from SignComp just actually posted one today on LinkedIn. But yeah, feel free to reach out to us. There is a few YouTube videos out there as well that does show a video of the install. And it's extremely simple. Really, the assembly of it too, Matt, it's just an Allen head wrench in the corners. You just tighten those down. So once again, another product that doesn't require adhesive, heavy-duty machinery or anything like that. It's just an Allen head wrench to tighten that down in a squeegee. All right. So if we didn't say that before, it does take hi Kara. It does take fabric material, so it's like a dye sublimation frame at that point. To round out the franchise flyer, there's two more products that we do offer. These are a little bit smaller. They can be exterior, interior. Just be careful on where you're putting some of these. But this one right here is just our wall frame. It's basically an anodized picture frame. It really is. It's just a J track. There's two different sizes just based on the thickness of your panel that you're sliding inside there. This is a nice feature because what the customer can do is just upsell their customer. You know, instead of just putting a panel right on the wall, why not give it some sort of border all the way around the sides? And that's where this comes into play. This is one that I would put exterior versus the next product, the snap frames.
Well, we do see this, Jeremy. Your point of exterior, we see this on the walls in stadiums, on the outside of a bus, certain areas, because the way that it locks together, it's a little more rigid. We've actually seen people get a little creative and put LED tape light in the bottom as well and illuminate acrylic.
Right. Yep. No, exactly. Yeah, and this one, it's pretty slick because the back on the J track is actually taller. So that way, once you do fasten it to the building, once you slide your acrylic or any sheet inside there, it hides all that. So all you see is just that little border all the way around. Next on the list, actually, there's a couple of finished pictures, I believe, of what, if anybody needs to see what a picture frame looks like. There it is. And yes, those do come anodized. All right. So that's already a finished product for you as well. Next on the list is going to be the snap frames. If anybody's been in a Buffalo Wild Wings or any kind of bar or restaurant like that, they've seen many of these snap frames around. These do come mill finish or anodized. That way, if you wanted to wrap or paint them, mill finish is going to be just a little bit less expensive. All right. So there's no point in getting an anodized product if you're just going to finish the outside of it anyway. The neat thing that we do in kit form here is we actually ask for the thickness of your material going inside there, because we actually insert that thickness and shims and then do the cuts. That way, when you do put your insert in there, there's no separation in the corner. There's no gaps or anything like that. Two cover options. There's a flat cover, and then there's actually a radius cover. Both of the same cost. It's just another feature, different look to the snap frames themselves.
Yeah, you stole my comment earlier. So
what was that one, Adam?
Most people don't realize this. The big benefit of the SignComp snap frame is what Jeremy pointed out was our miter corners and our cutting is so precise that we actually use that face thickness to cut it so it doesn't pop open. As you mentioned in Buffalo Wild Wings, I like to go through airports and open them up.
Right.
So you can usually tell if that was taken into consideration, or if it's one of those cheaper ones with the rounded corner.
Right.
The miter corner. So anyway, that was my moment in the spotlight. You took it, so I appreciate that.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, and you can tell when you open up those other ones too, it's a little bit flimsier than ours. Ours is a little bit more rigid, and then in kit form, all the springs are already preloaded for you, so you don't have to tinker around with that either.
We got a question here from Matt Smith, also, Jeremy.
Matt Smith, okay. Are you limited on certain sizes with your snap frame, or can you get them with custom dimensions? Another great question by Matt Smith.
He's on fire.
We can do these custom cut for you, just like everything else in this little brochure here for you. About 8 foot to answer your first question, about 8 foot is probably the distance I would go with that. Now, keep in mind, we could do a miter cut and a straight cut and then butt them together so you can keep going past 8 foot. It's just that what happens is when you go to snap anything larger than 8 foot, let's just say it's only one person at this end. And when we snap this open, it could take a little bit until the end run actually opens up from there. So we don't want to bend the cover.
So Jeremy, would you recommend maybe a straight cut down? And so it's actually got a section open here and a section open here?
Yeah, if you're going to go over 8 foot, yeah, that's what I mean is you can butt those together, and we're going to be the only ones walking around an airport that's going to notice it's spliced.
I'm going to open it.
Might as well. So thank you, Matt. Let's see. Other than that rounds out the franchise flyer. There's the number posted below, and then the SignComp website. Feel free to email us, and then. Brian, if you go a couple more slides, that's all your contact information right there with our customer service team, and then our outside sales team as well is all on there. So feel free to contact us directly with any kit pricing that you possibly need. And if anybody needs any samples, we have those available for a small fee. Otherwise, 3-inch pieces of any of our extrusion, we can just get your address. We can drop those in the mail and get them out the door for you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching this and you're a distributor or customer, please request the pieces of literature. They're great handouts. They're great quick read. Even for a sign shop to bring to an end user, it's a great, easy flyer to show.
It really is. Yep. It's a good starting point. And then those smaller non-electrical companies, this is a great product for them. All right. So other than that, I appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for tuning in. Adam, always a pleasure.
Yeah. We'll
Until
see
next
Tuesday. What was that?
Until next Tuesday?
Till next Tuesday. Unless you're off the road tomorrow, then we can.
Yeah, I'm getting turned down quite a bit. All right. Well, thank you again. Stay safe, everybody.